So here we are, Trafalgar Square, trying to spread some awareness for the animals, get some people to connect those dots and make the world a better place. We're in a climate emergency, it's all interconnected. So yeah, let's see what happens. Heard of that before?
Sorry?
Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Veganism?
Veganism, yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Definitely vegan, yeah.
I've definitely thought about it. I have a bunch of friends that have done it and still are doing it, and I come from in Canada. There's a bunch of people that are doing it.
It's global, right?
Yeah.
Definitely global.
Yeah. I think it's
A lot
more
of
and
my
more
friends
and more.
are vegan, especially like the young generation are becoming more.
You guys are pretty young?
So
What age you guys?
I just turned 22.
I'm 18.
Awesome.
Okay, no.
It's a philosophy that it focuses on animals and their liberation from the systems that human beings keep them in, exploitation and slaughter. Are you aware of the climate situation right now?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
No, it's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's, I think close to have no solution.
Say that again?
I think it's close to have no solution.
No solution, yeah. I think the solution is twofold in the sense that we need to force the government to take serious action, but on an individual level we need to do as much as we can as well. And one of the best things we can do is change what we eat and who we eat, because these are living, feeling, breathing animals that, just like us, they don't want to be exploited against their will and killed. But the system that we operate in that breeds animals and exploits them and kills them for food and clothing and testing and whatever, do you think that from the animal's point of view, who's being exploited, do you think that that can be justified?
No, I think no.
No? Do you eat animals?
Yes.
How come? What would you say is your justification then? So do you see it like you both have friends that are vegan? Do you see it through that lens of like there's an injustice here? Like animals haven't done anything wrong to anybody? You know, like your friends, like are they making those choices for animals? There's obviously other things,
Yeah.
but the actual definition is about injustice towards animals.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really talked to them about it a whole lot. I mean,
A lot of my friends have a lot of reasons for it, like whether it's like because of animal injustice or whether it's just a choice they make. So it's I
feel like I've had a bunch of different stories come from every one of my friends that have gone vegan. I think one of them watched like a documentary, and one of them really loves animals, or I don't know. There's just a bunch of different stories for each person, I think.
Yeah. What I really love about it is that, like, I used to eat animals. I was unconscious to the reality of what I was paying for. I became enlightened about that specific thing, and I realized it didn't align with who I was and how I felt that I should treat other living creatures who can feel pain and suffer. But what I love about it is that switch to, in my personal opinion, better karma. The whole idea about like people do it for different reasons, like, so it's such good karma, it's better for your health and it's better for the planet. The unnecessary slaughter of animals, like, would you say that aligns with the values that you hold? You think that's okay? Do you feel much about that?
I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about it. I haven't really even given it a thought, actually.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree a lot with that, but I feel like a lot of young people don't know a lot about it, and it's good to be informed.
To have these conversations?
No, I eat a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything?
But I eat maybe once per week.
Once per week,
Meat, no more.
What do you...
Fish, vegetables, animals, everything.
Do you think animals suffer when they're farmed and they're killed?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, and their life is not being closed in a room. That's true.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if we agree that animals suffer for their exploitation and ultimately their death, do you think even for, say that, like, once a week, do you think that is something that we can say is ever okay?
I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
So, say you eat fish or meat once a week.
Yeah.
Do you think that even just once a week, if we kill somebody and eat them, from the victim's perspective, do you think that we can say that that is okay?
I don't know. It's complicated because I think during all the history of the human being, the eating animals was a normal situation. But what is not okay or is not the natural way is to create this system of breeding animals and exploding them. Yeah.
You agree that's wrong?
Yeah, of course.
What I love about like the times that we live in is we're in a privileged era where if we want to know about this thing, we can just Google it. You know, I got resources on the cards. There's a bunch of different documentaries. They're free. The best one I would recommend is that first one on YouTube, The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear. That turned me from someone who unconsciously ate animals to like, fuck this shit, like I'm going vegan, this does not align with me. It's just a series of really succinct, cohesive points that just found it really, really hard to argue with. But so you both kind of echoed a similar sentiment in the sense that hadn't really thought about it, don't know a whole lot about it. I find generally when I have these conversations, that's quite a common thing. So say if we keep that in mind, then we're paying for something that we're not too aware of, like the consequences of those actions. And you can feel free to do your own research, but say I've been vegan 6 years and I've been doing activism same sort of length of time. Say I told you from my research and findings, etc., and you can verify that, but say if I said it was an unbelievably cruel what we do to animals, like beyond your worst nightmare, you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. You know, with that, what would you say about that? Like it's not just the slaughter of animals, like that we take their life from them. It's that from the moment they're born, someone's already decided the day that they're going to die, and the whole life cycle is just exploitation through and through. They're just, whether it's cows that are milked to exhaustion or chickens that are, you know, dying from laying too many eggs, or just all the animals, they're slaughtered way before their natural lifespan, and they're just there to be used. So we feel that all use is inherently abusive, because if we, like, imagine if I looked at another person like, you are here for my use, we would agree that there's a problem with that, yeah. But I mean, any animal product, it's all about like what that human can get out of the use and exploitation of that animal. Right. With that in mind, just to accelerate that sort of perception, what do you think about that?
I think I love animals. I think I do, and to think of it like that is.
I've always loved animals.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God! Every time she sees a dog, she'll go running and want to pet it. But yeah, I mean, I grew up in Canada. We have so much like wildlife, and
Awesome.
Seeing that every day is I mean, it makes me feel, I don't know how to say it, more kind of connected with nature, and just more happy in general. Is to see like life in its natural place, and I
think it's good to think about it. For young people, you need to think about it. Like just being informed with all the things that you just said, it's like, oh, you don't usually think about it, but once you said that, it makes you aware.
Think about it differently. Basically, the card I gave you there is the alternative, and that's what the moral philosophy of veganism is. It's if you agree that it's not okay, then you can choose, you know, to eat a diet of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, tasty, delicious food that doesn't have a victim. You know?
Sorry?
The option of the vegan philosophy there, it doesn't have a victim. You think that's a better choice?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think like animals can't come here and speak up for themselves. You know? Yeah. Do you think like an animal, if they could speak to you, what do you think that they would say to you if you're paying for them to suffer and be exploited? What do you think they would say?
Yeah, maybe I hate you or something like this.
Well, you're probably close, but you seem like a nice guy. Do you think that what happens to animals is something that is in alignment with your morals? You think that, you know, we've agreed that it's not okay. What do you think would be stopping you from stopping the harm that you're paying for to hurt animals? What do you think would be stopping you?
In my case, I don't know. I don't agree with exploding animals, but I don't want to take the meat apart.
Why not?
Because the previous thing I said to you that
natural.
I eat everything and a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I think in my way the situation could be stable or could be
balanced.
Balanced, yeah.
Do you think violence is a part of balance?
Sorry, I don't understand you. Sorry.
Like killing animals is a part of balance.
I don't know.
Because I get like that. Our history, we relied on killing and eating animals because we had to survive.
Yeah.
But we're not in a survival situation anymore.
That's clear.
And you can eat like a well-balanced diet of, a diet without animal products. Like, because if we're talking about balance, we're obviously talking about like protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals. Are you aware that those things all come from plants in the first place? Like the reason that we eat animals is because the animals eat plants. And that's where the vitamins come from in the first place,
Yeah, I understand you. I understand your position, but I'm not sure about it could be also an alternative. Completely.
Yeah. So with that being said, like if I was to, I'll not do it, but I would urge you to look into it. But if I was to show you slaughterhouse footage of animals, being decapitated and etc., would you say that was an injustice for those animals?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Even just saying that, you just feel uncomfortable,
Yeah. I appreciate the honesty. Honestly, you guys have no resistance to being open, and that's beautiful. It seems to be drilled out of us as we get older, typically, which is really sad. But so if we're in agreement that that's an injustice, what do you think that, like, just you two in front of me, because I can't change the world, I can't change everybody walking around here, but I might be able to incite a bit of change in you guys. But if we agree that that is an injustice, what do you think that, like, going forward you could do?
I think we could look at all these research on that,
even ask friends like more about why they're choosing to do this. And
I think honestly asking friends about like how they do it and incorporate it into their lifestyle is something, because I mean I've just grown up all my life eating meat and using animal products, and I think the extra thought of trying to get it out of my life is something I need to do more research on, I think. Yeah.
I really, really appreciate that. I imagine you feel the same?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I'll just put it like this. There's two types of people, and I don't feel like, let me explain. So there's two types of people when we talk about what happens to animals and what we can do to change. First type of people see themselves as the victims, like it might be hard for me, these changes. And then the other type of person is that see the real victims of those choices, which is the animals who don't have a say, they aren't recognized, and they're just the byproducts of suffering. So they're the true victims of our choices. And I would say, like, if you agree with me, which I feel like you do the research, and if that is something that truly doesn't align and you feel like, I wouldn't do that myself to an animal, but I'm paying someone else to do that. If you don't feel okay with that, there's the moral philosophy of veganism right there. That's like, there's a more ethical alternative. And I pretty much say that, and I would just leave you with this. Until the day that you make those, you change. Animals will be abused and killed for your choices, so just keep that in mind. And I just want to say thank you so much for the short interview.
Thanks for talking with us.
I really appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day. I hope you got some good snaps. Cool.
I don't know.
What would you say if I
complicate the situation?
It is. I mean, there's a lot of science out there. I'm not sure if you're aware. There's a lot of science that demonstrates that you can be totally healthy eating a vegan diet. So there's like children, athletes, pregnancy, people in old age. Vegan diet is suitable for all stages of life. But I would just say, like, I haven't ate animals for 6 years. 6 years, no animals. I'm feeling pretty good. I would just say, like, until the day, that you give up those animal products, animals will be killed and abused because of your choices. And I would just say to think about that. You seem like a good guy. And I don't think that aligns with how you feel inside.
I understand you. But I don't know if only having vegetables, legumes, and all this veggie food is also I don't know if it could be enough for breeding all the human in the world.
Okay, that's
I think the main problem is that we are a lot of people in the world.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
The problem is there is no enough food for everyone.
So I would say
difficult.
I would say there's about 8 billion people on the planet. We kill about 56 billion animals to feed those 8 billion people. So if we have enough land, to feed 56 billion animals, if we stopped breeding the animals, we would have a lot more land to feed people. But there's a documentary there called What the Health, and it talks about how we can be healthy without animals. Cowspiracy, these are on Netflix. It talks about how bad eating animals is for the planet. But ultimately, there's a victim at the end of our choices when we eat animal products. Someone who has a preference to be free from harm and doesn't want to be killed, and they can't speak up for themselves. So.
Okay, I will take a look to
Thank you so much, man.
Okay, thanks.
Have a great day.
Same.
Thank you. Bye.